For example, when we're talking about, what are some of the other minor components in air, some of the other minor components in air might be ozone, okay, might be sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide I have listed here. Carbon monoxide is another component of air, all right? And so what we'll find when people start talking about components of mixtures, for example, air, they use units to describe that. So on the previous, and so what we want to be able to do in order to make sense of the mixture is we want to, first of all, have some clue about what the different components are. For example, what is oxygen and what is ozone and how are they different? What is sulfur dioxide? What is carbon dioxide and how are they different? That we're going to have to get to when we start looking at pure substances. All right, but first, let's just take a moment to try to conceptualize the units. And what I mean by that is try to really have some kind of physical concept of what these different units mean. All right, first of all, up there, I said pph, 21 pph O2. That's what does that pph unit mean? That is the same, or that means parts per 100. Okay, parts per 100. That happens to be the same thing as percent. Cent, of course, is the Latin root for 100, so it's percent or percentage. All right, so parts per 100 is the same as saying I can say there's 21 parts per 100 oxygen, or I can say there's 21% oxygen. And if you think back to that pie chart that we looked at the very beginning of the talk here. Oh, here's my pie chart. Let's see if we can flip back and find it. Nope. Well, anyway, if you think about the pie chart, very beginning, it said 21%, and that was 21% of the whole, or 21 parts per 100. It's the same thing. So when we conceptualize pph, you're just thinking of, percent or per 100. And in this case, when we're talking about, the per 100 what? Per 100 total parts of air, all right? And when we're describing air, in most cases, we're describing air as the parts are molecules. For the most part, they're molecules. Argon, when we saw the chart for argon, let's see if we can find it back here. Oh, it's right here. Let's see right here. Nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and water are all molecules in air. Argon is an atom. And again, we're going to look at the differences of those in the next lecture. But anyway, the parts per 100, you're talking about parts per 100 molecules or atoms, bits of air. And the bits of air exist as either molecules or atoms. What about ppm? 0.4 ppm ozone. ppm stands for parts per million. Okay, parts per million. And so that means that in air, there are 0.4 parts per million ozone. What about ppb? That's parts per billion. Okay. And down here, of course, is percent, which would be the same as parts per 100 or percent carbon dioxide. All right, so we want to be able to conceptualize these units.